Welcome to halftime on Acsom. Paul John's at Barra's Art and Design at the moment with all the Celtic fans. So tonight, hosted by myself, Sean, joined by Anthony, and Liam will join us at some point. Good start so far at the moment. It's 1-0 to Celtic at halftime. Anthony, can you give us for anyone that's not watching or is jumping in and out, can you just give us a 1-minute summary of how that first half went at Hampden for Celtic, 1-0 up against our rivals?
More excitement in the first 5 minutes than I think there was in the whole derby at Mordor 6 weeks ago, which is what I was after. Plenty of chances for both teams, really. I'd actually say Rangers maybe had the two best chances of the half. We got ourselves in some very good positions. Tanekti, if he could just release that final ball, I think we could easily have been 3-0 up ourselves. And it was a magnificent header from John Kenny from a corner, well delivered corner from Arnie Engels. Great header coming in front of the post and then glancing it back across Jack Butland with pace, beating him for pace. 1-0. And then obviously the big talking point, 37 minutes, Oliver Gard, or whatever his name is, or he's pronounced it the Norwegian, for Rangers, getting sent off with a high vasectomy-like tackle on Anthony Ralston, who hopefully still has everything intact. So not really much to complain about that from the blue side of the Glasgow on that one. And then, like I said, we just need to capitalize on that in the second half. But yeah, we're 1-0 up, and we're definitely the team that deserves to be 1-0 up. But yeah, like I said, Rangers have had a couple of really good chances. It just so happens that Chermiti can't score to save himself, which has saved us a little bit.
So I agree with your assessment there, Anthony. We've been the better team. We deserve the lead, but then you're right. Sevco have also had three very good chances. Two from Chermiti. One is he gets in behind basically, and it's a first-time volley, and he puts it wide. That's a sitter. The second chance that they have is Raskin is one-on-one. Schmeichel saves. Trusty deals with the rebound, and then the third one's a back post again. Chermiti puts it wide. So that guy, 8 million, putting chances wide, happy with that. But I think you're right on the balance. We deserve it. Certainly in the first up before we score the goal that counts. We had about 67% possession, so we were well worth that lead at that point. But they come back into it at 1-0. They get a couple of chances to add to the one that they had. So it does, on balance of chances, it's pretty even. But I think we've been dominating possession, and not just possession. We've been dominating pressure as well. The feature of the game that I've enjoyed the most has been the pressure from front to back. It's not been as cohesive as I've seen in the past, where under Rodgers, where we had the kind of team press where Hatate or Matt O'Reilly or whoever would trigger a press and the rest would follow. It's not been like that. It's been more individual pressure has been great. Just before the end of the half there, we have Nygren putting pressure on Raskin and winning possession back when he ponders on the ball, and that's us 1-0 up. There was a chance created from Trusty stepping out of defence and winning it. There's a chance earlier in the game when Kenny puts pressure and wins it back. I think that's been, for me, the most impressive feature has been our pressure in the game. Liam, what stood out for you in the first half?
I think Engels has been absolutely superb. What a delivery that was for the goal. The midfield in general have been really good. There's been a fight there that hasn't been there for a lot of this season. Just every time like you say, we lost the possession quite a lot, but immediately flying back into tackles to win it back, getting the ball forward at every opportunity. Their defence are an absolute shambles, and we are right on top of them at every opportunity. And that is how it should be. That's the Celtic way of playing. That's what you do. You just go at them, and we got our goal. We should have more than one goal, to be quite honest. And that is the only negative. The only thing that's even remotely concerning me at the moment is the fact that we've only got one goal up when we should have 3 or 4.
Yeah, that's fair. And a couple of incidents as well that were non-goal related. There was Cornelius going in with a studs up challenge and catches Ralston. And and it was yellow card. And when you see it back in VR, it was studs up, and he wins the ball first. Okay, but that's not that. As a referee, doesn't matter. It's all about force. It's all about height. It's all about exactly dangerous. Now, the only thing I will say is, in defense of VAR, is on the first two playbacks, it wasn't immediately obvious that was a red. So fine. I'm fine with VAR not intervening in that one. But I will say, looking at what happens if the referee is deemed that a red card, VAR also can't overturn that based on what I've seen. So I think that one comes down to the referee's decision. Cornelius survives on a yellow. And I think maybe that has slightly influenced the referee's decision. Not to say it wasn't a red card, but if he had any shred of doubt, that might have been wiped out by the fact when Asgard goes again, studs up, this time at waist height, drawing blood from Anthony Ralston, and does get a red. Anthony, any comment on those two incidents?
Yeah, I mean, the Cornelius tackle was nasty. So yeah, you could definitely say, I used to use this expression on other podcasts where it's an amber card, because it could easily be given yellow or red depending on how well the referee sees it. And yeah, it's one of those ones where a yellow wouldn't get upgraded to a red, but then a red wouldn't be overturned either. So yeah, a nasty challenge. And we're probably, got lucky to get away with that one. But yeah, they definitely weren't getting away with the Asgard one. That, I saw someone in the comments saying Michael Stewart's insufferable. Like, he spent 2 minutes trying to put the mental gymnastics out to how to justify that there was no malice in it, and he was unlucky, all this sort of stuff. I mean, when you dangle the leg out like that, I'll say dangle, you stick your leg out like that, studs up like that, there's only going to be one outcome, and it's going to be a red card. So it got what it deserved, and again, all the Celtics players were around the ball and around Ralston. So that's the sort of spirit that I was looking for before the game. And that was on display. And in that summary I gave you at the start, Sean, I totally forgot about the chalked off goal, because sometimes games are devoid of incidents. And I've honestly got 2 pages of notes here, because there's been that many things happening, a lot going on. And I just want to make one point. I think Martin O'Neill's got his tactics spot on here. He's got Maeda and Taneki playing up almost as proper wingers. They're not tracking back. So what that's doing is it's really forcing Rangers back. So the 2 wing backs aren't really getting forward, but what it's creating is these pockets of space, because the fullbacks or the back 3 aren't coming onto them. So they're picking the ball up in space pretty much every time the ball is played out there. So if we can get the ball out to either of those 2 players, we're causing all sorts of trouble. And it's really, like I said, it's just that little bit lack of quality, and Kenny's guilty of it as well at times. And I'm not taking away from he's thrown a brilliant goal, but there's just those little interplays. If it was just a little bit one touch less, or just the delivered or released a little bit earlier, yeah, Liam's right, would be 3-4 up, no problemo. And that's probably the only thing we just need to probably add to our game in this second half, is just picking the right pass at the right time. And it could be, a demolition derby. Like, we really could put the pain on here, but we've got to keep it tight at the back. We've got to, I know Trusty he was limping at one point with about 5-10 minutes to go. He's picked up a stupid yellow card. So we just have to be careful, just not to give them a lifeline, because they're still going to be dangerous from set pieces. That's pretty much what they're going to be playing for. I would imagine they'll take one of their centre forwards off, because I can't see how they can play with 2 up front with 10 men. So I think they'll rejig it a little bit. But yeah, they're there to be gotten. And like I said, it's really up to us. So I just really more of the same from us, just a little bit more finesse. And yeah, like I said, it should be as far as these fixtures go, it should be a relatively smooth day at the office. But the caveat is that first 5-10 minutes, we've got to make sure we start well.
Yeah, obviously Trusty was stupid. He does go in late with no force, but he does go in late on Butland, does make contact with his head, but there's no force. And obviously all the Sevco players are like, why is that not a red card? I'll direct you to Joe Hart's staples in his head and the yellow card that Stephen Fletcher got at Dundee United several years ago when VAR was a thing at that point. So yes, I do think Trusty was, but Trusty's had a good game, I think, overall. I think between him and Johnny Kenny, they've been very good angles. I think those 3 have been the spine of the team today. I'll just bring up a comment here from Graham Cawthor, who was Cawthor 108. Johnny Kenny, what poise, what class. He was chiming in before we even came on. Comment on Johnny Kenny, please, Liam. How's he been for you? Goal included.
Johnny Kenny, take a bow, son. I apologise for the number of times that I've said Shin Yamada should be getting a game ahead of you, because between midweek and today, those goals have justified your starting position. So enjoy it while you're there, mate, and hopefully you'll get a few more. It's outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. And the thing I really liked as well was he's been involved so much in link-up play as well. Mm-hmm. And he's still pushing, even though he's got that goal. He wants more. He's hungry for more. Like, see the anger in his face when Nygren takes that shot, and he's like, I had a tap in there. You know, it's like, that's great to see. I love that, to see that kind of, that aggression's the wrong word, that kind of assertiveness about players, you know, especially ones that are as young as him. I'd love to see that. So yeah, Kenny has been absolutely brilliant today so far.
The chance you're talking about, when the first replay comes in and I'm like, like Nygren's got every right there. But then when you see the replay from behind it and the goal is absolutely open for Kenny on his left foot. Whether he can take it with his left foot or not, I don't know, or outside of his right. But like the goal is gaping for him if Nygren,
and the keeper's already committed as well. It's
exactly. Yeah, and it was right there for him. But I think you're right. I agree. He's had good link-up play. He's had a great game. A lot of comments saying that Johnny Kenny's had a great game. I think Engels, even apart from his assist, has had a great game as well. And I love what Trusty's done. Who's been the best player so far for you, Anthony?
It's just, it's solid performances all round. I think, Daiza Maeda's putting in a shift. Kenny's got his goal. I can't underestimate that. Nygren's been good. Engels has been good. I think Cal McGregor's been good as well. Like, he's hustling and bustling and breaking up play and getting the ball back. We're cycling play pretty well. Like, they maybe had 5 minutes where they sort of had a few little passages of play where they actually strung some passes together, but they really haven't had a chance or an opportunity to really get the foot on the ball. Really, we've nullified them pretty well. And like I said, having those high wingers, it's just given us the ability just to have an out ball every time. So Schmeichel's setting them high. And it's making it a little bit easier for the fullbacks to take a bit of pressure off them. Stales has had a couple of good headers. Trusty's been good. I don't really have a fault with anybody in the team at the moment. I think everybody's pulling their weight, so it's hard to sort of say. So I'll reserve judgment till full time. But it's a team performance. But yeah, just so much more up and about Celtic. Like, they're just so much more desire, I think is the word I would use. I know Liam was looking for the word. I think it's desire to get on the ball, desire to get forward, desire to support the guy who's got the ball. So actually getting into positions to try and get on the end of things. And that, you've got to say that's got to be coming from the management team. So fair play, fair dues. And like I say, just more of the same in the second half. I think Rangers are making a substitution from what I can see on my screen. Here we go. I tell you, you're on to it. Danila's off and Gazma's on. Sama, is on. We'll see what happens.
Sama, need to be careful. He's one of the few of them that's actually impressed me this season.
And I'm worried about Ant-Man coming on. He can be quite big at times. Liam, when we're talking about all this praise we're giving out, the one thing that's the only, not criticism, but maybe a thing that we could improve on was Tanecki didn't look so good when he was put on his left foot. It was a couple of times. So I'm hoping maybe Maeda switches over. I don't know. What do you think, Liam? Any solution to that?
Switch the wingers. Yep. Because I think they've both terrorised their respective fullbacks in different ways. So I think you've got both of their fullbacks on the back foot just now. So switch it, let Tanecki run at him for another 10-15 minutes, and you've got the option of bringing Forrest on as well if you want, which offers something.
We're in our goal here. We just had a corner, so we're just Tanecki just broke through there, so we're back to there.
Sounds like we're back on. So we'll leave you guys. See you at full time. On the hoops.
See you full time.